Do not pay off a girlfriend's debt or a boyfriend's debt. You don't do that until and unless you're married. Everything in the Bible about bad women is her. You can't have an advisor who is going to give up on whatever it is after a day or two. She's even using the tears to manipulate you.
There are just people out there that don't care. It doesn't matter how much you teach them. I mean, I've seen it. It's not always the parents' fault. It's usually, it just depends on the person.
If your girlfriend is looking for you to fix her, man, she's not a machine. If she is looking for you to solve her, she's not a puzzle.
Right.
If she stays, tell her, listen, we're going to both grow together. We're going to become good stewards with our money.
Yep.
I'm not paying your bills. You're not paying my bills.
Yep.
And we're going to grow together to one day hopefully be married.
Okay, this is going to be a good one. My girlfriend is mad that I won't pay her bills. From the Lawyer Dana Show.
I wonder how long they've been together. That's my first question.
Well, okay.
How committed are they?
Yeah. Do they live together?
Do they live together? Yeah. So,
Do you know statistically if you live together, you have a greater chance that you're going to get divorced after you get married?
I've heard that.
Yep. If you don't live together before you get married, you're actually... And the thing is that... Here's my philosophy on that, is that if you live together, you went in too quickly and you didn't really thoroughly vet, it wasn't as big of a deal to you. You weren't as careful about it. Whereas if you didn't live together and you were planning that out, you're more likely to have come into this in not only that better decision, but other different better decisions and I think that you have a better chance of having a healthy marriage.
Right.
I'm not a fan of living together before you get married. Summer and I didn't. Did you and Daniel? And
I wouldn't do it.
Too healthy.
He tried.
I bet he did.
And I was like, nope.
Hey, good afternoon. How are you guys doing today?
Doing good, man. Thanks for calling in. How can we help?
So I got a relationship question, which I think Mr. Deloney would be able to help me out a lot with this one.
Yes, I'm going to be quiet and let him talk to you.
Yeah, I have a bit of financial background. I just want...
Look, before I even get into this, I'm going to tell you, do not pay off a girlfriend's debt or a boyfriend's debt. You don't do that until and unless you're married.
Yes.
Period. Period. Because otherwise, it can be a total and absolute scam.
Right.
And it's a biblical principle.
What happens when you break up? Then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, you owe me.
And you have no recourse for that whatsoever.
Yeah, I paid your debt.
Exactly. In a divorce, we can say you brought in this much debt, separate or community funds, and they're entitled to a reimbursement. We can get that back for you. We can actually do that. But girlfriend, no, it's a gift, and bye-bye, it's gone.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if they're that bad with money, they're bringing that money problem into the marriage. And unless you solve that fundamental problem, then you now have their problem.
Right.
It's not 1 plus negative half equals negative half. You know, it's not 2 plus minus 1 equals 1. You don't bring them up. What happens is they bring you down.
Right.
And it's more likely that the fact that there's more money there will leverage how far negative that they go with you. Not a good thing to do. But let's see what they say on the Ramsey Show.
I'm going through the process myself of going through using every dollar, budgeting, and going through my own finances, working the debt snowball. I'm still on step 2. I've paid off 2 credit cards and such, and I'm trying to work this out with family members as I go along with the process. And along with that, I'm also trying to help my girlfriend through it.
Okay. Bless his heart. I'm glad he's doing it because if you remember on another episode that we did, I said it's the need to be right. And he is seeing that this is right, and he wants social credibility and validation from the people that are around him. And so he's helping his family do it, and he's helping his girlfriend do it.
So recently, with COVID and everything, she's been going through a lot of jobs. She's actually been through about 7 jobs throughout the last year.
She's been through 7 jobs in the last year.
Oh, wow. That's a lot.
That's a red flag to me.
Yeah.
That's an indication.
There's something
going on.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be that much more
He
hesitant.
mentioned COVID, but dang,
but 7 jobs?
after COVID, people needed workers.
Yeah.
Bad.
Is she just upgrading and job hopping? And if so, I don't like upgraders or job hoppers that much. I mean, 7. I mean, I could see maybe a couple or a
that's
few.
That's a lot.
Or what's wrong with you? Why didn't you look for the great job to begin with?
Right.
I mean, statistically, she has to be in like the top 1.
Well, you have to start realizing it's not the job, it's you.
Yeah, at a certain
That's
point.
the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't consistently hold her a job, and
she can't consistently hold the job. It's not that she's upgrading, so it is her.
Basically, she had a moment the other night where she broke down because of her finances.
Well, that's tough. I hate seeing that, but sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
And I tried to tell her, I said, this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I think we need to do this with you as well. And she thinks it's not as, she doesn't want to do the plan. She wants to do what she wants to do. She's the
So it didn't work. Apparently, it's not that bad. She can cry about it, but she's still going to do it. It's not enough for her to make a change. Why would you get to the cause of it? Why not just fret about the symptom?
Well, then she's mad because he's not paying her bills.
Yeah,
she just wants him to take care of her.
She just wants him to take care of her. She wants him to pay for her bills and get her out of trouble. Which, by the way, as soon as she does that, credit cards are going to get racked right back up.
Mm-hmm.
And as a matter of fact, you're going to increase her credit score and allow her to take out more credit. And therefore, she's going to dig herself into a bigger hole because you have not treated the disease, which is she has spending problems and she's in love with debt and is not using the principles. He wants her to, so I'm suspicious about whether he is going to interject what he wants to hear out of this and project his desires onto her when she has none, and he's not going to actually be reading her. He's going to be reading what he wants her to be.
Right.
the free thinker, and I'm the one who's more of the budgeter and who likes to conserve my money.
Hey, Dave, why can't she hold down a job?
Good question.
I honestly think it's just her preference. She doesn't like retail. She doesn't like anything.
So is she not
minimum
showing
wage.
up to work? Is she showing up late? Does she just quit after a couple of days?
She just quits after a couple of days.
Okay.
Oh,
Whoa.
geez. So she doesn't. She's not somebody that holds herself accountable.
Exactly. Brother, do not be involved
Yes.
with a woman like that.
No, she needs to learn.
Everything in the
responsibility.
Bible about bad women is her. Like you can't have an advisor who is going to give up on whatever it is after a day or two. What about with a child? What about a child with you? What about when
a
she
marriage?
thinks exactly? And what about when she thinks that the child is hers and you're there to just support her? Get away from this woman as soon as possible. She's even using the tears to manipulate you because your answer was, well, did she want to make a change and did she fully embrace and say, I want to do this. How can I learn how to do this?
Yeah.
No, she hasn't. He still wants to do what she
I'm
wants to do.
going to keep a job. I don't care if I like it or not. I'm going to work as hard as I can because
Exactly.
I need to get out of this situation.
Exactly. Yeah. And the moment that you're not treating her like a princess, and the moment anybody else.
It sounds like she's starting a temper tantrum when she's not getting her way.
Yep. And
like the crying.
And as soon as she finds a guy that's going to offer her 3 cents more than you will,
I bet you
you're
this is
gone.
what went down. She started crying. Oh, feel sorry for me. And then he says, hey, you need to get a program and get this situation taken care of. As soon as he told her that, then she was mad. So it's like a temper tantrum. I didn't get my way. He's not going to do it. He's not going to pay my bills. So I'm going to stop my feet and be all upset. It's probably why she quits as much as she does. She thinks he'll eventually like cave.
yeah, I bet. This is probably a big power struggle.
If
between
he
the
was
two of
my
them.
son, I would say bye-bye to that relationship.
Oh, if he was me, I would have been gone way sooner than that.
Yeah. That's not a good
And,
situation.
it came down to a point where all her bills came outstanding, and
Yeah, that's what happens when you quit your
I
job.
almost thought he said it came down to all her bills came to me, like addressed to me.
Oh, wow.
Bills don't get paid, right?
right, and she had her insurance cancel her policies and stuff like that. And then
Yeah,
she
they
looked
want to
to
get
me
paid
and said,
too. Yeah.
Yeah, she looked to me and said, why, I told you my situation. Why haven't you helped me more than you?
Oh,
I wish Dave was on this one.
yeah. But let's see what these guys say.
already have. I told her, I'm trying to help you through the process of learning to be an adult yourself and
Exactly. I'm not going to give you these fish. I'm going to teach you how to fish.
Right.
And you have to fish. I don't want to fish.
Right.
I want you to fish and give me the fish. And then when that dude over there shows me what he's got in his ice chest, I'm going to go over to him.
Trying to take care of your finances yourself. She didn't like that answer. She was like, why didn't you help me pay through these things while, I was going through troubles? But to me, I felt like the fact that it was her choice to not continue working through her jobs and stuff like that, that it shouldn't be an obligation for me to pay her.
Exactly. It was her choice.
I like the decisions he's making on that front.
No, he's actually very wise.
Yep. Although he's
Right.
still with her.
Well, but he's not paying her.
He is calling the Ramsey Show. What do you
Yes.
think they're going to say? I'm curious now to see what these guys are going to say.
I would tell him that if it was me, I would say, listen, is this someone that you can see a future with? And if he says no, then I would say you need to get out of this relationship. If this is someone you see a future with, then you're going to have to put some ground rules down, and she can't abide by that. And you're going to have to decide that you got to get out of this.
I wouldn't give that advice. Here's the advice I would give. This is the true, if I was in a consult with him, I would tell him you have to get away from her because she is in no condition to have a relationship with you. She has to fix herself. She's negative.
Yeah.
He's positive. You flip. It's not if he's positive one and she's negative one, that's a total of 2 negative.
Well, it's kind of like reverse psychology in a way, though, with people. You sometimes can't just tell them that and they'll do it because they're like, screw that person. But if you kind of put it in a way that gets them thinking.
It's a problem he's got to solve.
Oh, yeah, no.
If he can solve this problem with her, I mean, it's hard to turn somebody around that's like that.
Yeah, no, it is.
And
I don't know.
It can happen. It's just highly unlikely.
I don't know. Her pattern's what's going to be a problem.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be hard to find a job. First off, I hope she's smart enough not to put down all those different
honestly,
jobs.
I think she's years away.
Years
away from being in a possible condition or state of maturity with which to have a relationship at all.
No.
He is. If he takes her at this point in her life and has a relationship with her, she will not grow any farther. She will always remain there. She has to, on her own, without him telling or anything about that. She has to come to this on her own.
Yeah, she's not.
And the thing about it is that he needs to be the one that got away and gets and is rich, and to where she comes back to him and says, show me what I can do. Until she wants to correct it in herself, she's not the type of person that's ever going to have a good relationship. This is the type of person who's going to have a divorce after divorce after divorce after divorce and is never going to grow because she is stuck in an immature place that is not good. She needs to understand and have a work ethic.
Well, we know that she's immature because of her work ethic.
Oh, absolutely.
And as an employer, I wouldn't hire someone like that.
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
I wonder how old she is.
Her bills, and she sees otherwise.
So what?
She sees otherwise.
Man, there's a lot here. We could spend a couple
Bye, Felicia.
of weeks with this one.
Could spend a couple of weeks. Yeah. I don't know how long we've been in this one, but we can keep going. And this I'm curious. I'm really curious.
We've only done 2 minutes of it.
What's your question?
What's your question?
Should I have done more to help her through this time where
No, you're
the way
disabling
you help
her
is to teach her and not enable her. Do not enable her. Do not enable her.
and she was going to go be delinquent in her finances and stuff, even though I'm still working through my process myself as well?
Yeah, Dave, so here's the deal. The answer you gave her is the answer a dad gives a child.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I think she's too immature and in no condition to be in a relationship. A relationship takes +1 plus +1 equals at least 2. Mm-hmm. If she's negative, then it's 1 plus times the negative. Mm-hmm. So they're a -2.
right.
It's not going to work.
No.
It's not going to work. It's going to be a problem. He's going to have a divorce. It's going to crash and burn. All she's going to do is run. They're on the Titanic, and if the Titanic is going to hit the iceberg, and they're going to sink. He needs to get off the iceberg or he needs to turn direction, and he has already indicated to us that there is no changing the direction of that ship.
Right.
You are not her father, and your job is to be her boyfriend, man.
You want, when you're looking for someone to be with, you want a person who is whole and doesn't need you for anything. And you need to be a whole person that doesn't need them for anything, but would enjoy each other's company as two wholes that come together. That makes a good and healthy marriage. If it's, I'm just not going to be whole in myself, I'm just so lonely and I don't feel like I'm complete without somebody else and I'm never going to make it in life, you're not going to get in a good relationship. You're not going to find that magical person that completes you. You have to do that for yourself. And then when you are a good and healthy, complete person, then you can find somebody. It's a whole different level of existence than that insecurity and self-consciousness that you have when you're looking for a relationship like that. And the moment that you find out information that is key, that they are not a good person for you, that is the information that you're looking for. Thank you so much. Next. We move on. You have to.
Right.
And so the answer, you are not in a position to be teaching her adult responsibility.
Exactly.
Which is how you put it, right? You need to learn how to be a responsible adult. Man, that's not your job. Your job as her boyfriend is to love her and support her. Now, no, you shouldn't be paying her bills when she chooses to go through 7 jobs in 6 months and she chooses to not like certain jobs. The reality is, if Dave fired me today, my bills still need to be paid at the end of the month.
Right.
And that means, as a responsible adult, I will be on the street. I'll give myself 24 hours, and then I'm hitting the street the next day looking for pizza delivery jobs and whatever I can scrounge up to pay my bills for my wife and my family. And my wife is probably going to hit the street too and go find a job, right? Because that's what responsible adults do when things fall apart. So no, your job is not to, quote unquote, support her by paying her bills or stepping in when she quits another job and another job and another job.
Yep.
The reality is, man, this sounds like a messy situation. It sounds like a situation that's
she is not mature enough to be in a relationship. That's all there is to it.
No.
She's got bigger fish to fry than the work thing. She's got things on her heart. She's got things that she needs to go meet with somebody about. And the reality is, dude, you can't.
What did her parents do a bad job? I mean, what was the deal? I don't know.
I don't think you can always blame a parent on situations like this. I think you have to look at the person. There are just people out there that don't care. It doesn't matter how much you teach them. I mean, I've seen it. It's not always the parent's fault. It just depends on the person.
Solve these problems. I always fall back on this idea that people are not puzzles to be solved. They are people to be with. Right? And so if your girlfriend is looking for you to fix her, man, she's not a machine. If she is looking for you to solve her, she's not a puzzle, right? And so you need to step back and say, is this the person I want to be with for a while?
Finally, they get to it.
Yes.
I will just tell you directly.
This is what I'll tell you. I don't know what other school districts do, but I know in our school district, my son, his freshman year, they took him to the Dave Ramsey course.
Yeah.
That was he had a money management class that he was required to take, and they took him through that. So
that's excellent.
Yeah. So I don't know. There's just people that are just very irresponsible and don't have good work ethic.
Don't date those people.
And I think, and this is where it could be the parents' fault. If parents don't make their kids go get a job at 16 years old, they're not doing their kids justice.
I agree with that.
You need to make your kids go get a job.
Yep.
A kid wants to play sports and, do well in school and stuff like that. I mean, I had one that did sports, was going to school full time, and he had a job. And he had to balance it. And that's how life is. You've got to balance it.
And now Zach's the assistant manager there and doing extremely well.
And here's the deal. It doesn't even matter if he, I've even had his counselor once tell me, well, he just has so much on his plate. And I was like, what's going to happen when you don't have college anymore, but now you're married and you got children and you got job, and and then you've got extracurricular activities for your kids, and then, you know, you got things with your spouse, you're still managing all that in your life.
Yep.
It's super busy.
Yep.
Like,
Exactly.
if you start it young, you learn to know how to
Handle it and
manage your
manage it.
life. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Is this a person that I want to continue to move forward and closer with in a relationship? And
No, it's not.
if so, man, y'all need some professional counseling. Y'all need some
Why? Why work that hard? My goodness. Why work that hard? Like, and here's the problem.
That's where I asked.
She's not going to
is
get through
she
this.
the
and,
one?
and she's not.
But that's the question they should have asked him. Before telling someone to go get counseling, I would say,
That's true.
do you feel like this person is the one for you?
Yeah.
And if you say yes, then I would say counseling. If he says, no, I'm not sure, then no, you just need to get out of the situation and quit prolonging it.
Yeah.
relationship care, and she needs to, man, to be honest with you, to grow up and face the real world, which means she's got to go get a job. She's got to hold the job, especially during a pandemic. If she finds work, she's got to crank it out. And she probably needs to go sit with somebody, with a professional counselor, with a pastor, with a mentor who will be honest with her, because she's got some stuff she's got to work through, brother, and that's not your baggage to carry.
Yep.
You know, Dave, I want to
John,
say this. No, you're.
Oh, Dave. I thought you were calling me Dave Ramsey. Okay, Dave from Pennsylvania. Yeah. Gotcha.
No, yeah, Dave, I like your heart. Let me say that. I believe that your heart is in a good place. I hope you listen to the wisdom of what.
I agree with that fully.
Yeah.
His heart really is in the right place and trying to help. I like what he's doing, and he's on track.
Don just gave you. I don't want you to lose your heart. I don't want you to lose your heart to want to help your loved one. Save that for your spouse. For a girlfriend, be the man. Lead by an example.
Exactly.
If she's upset with you because you weren't willing to pay her bills, that's fine. Give her the door that she can exit. Okay. If she wants to leave because you won't pay her bills, then that was never your situation at all.
Yep.
Right.
If she stays, tell her, listen, we're going to both grow together. We're going to become good stewards with our money.
Yep.
I'm not paying your bills. You're not paying my bills.
Yep.
And we're going to grow together to one day hopefully be married. But if you're looking for a man to pay your bills, go get you a boy in a grown man's body, because a real man doesn't pay his girlfriend's bills.
No.
Correct. I like the way you put it. I think we're all saying the same thing. Mm-hmm. So, Dave.
Figure it out.
This is not legal advice. And some would say that the advice is worth what you pay for it. Dave Ramsey says that all the time. I don't know how many of his expressions I'm going to keep using on the show, but Dave, if you don't follow our advice now, you'll be calling us later, and we would love to prevent you from having to get a divorce. It's better to break up with a girlfriend than it is to break up with a wife.
Exactly.
Especially to do it before she takes you down and ruins your life than after.
You know what I would like to know? If this girl's gone to college, does she have a degree? What does she want to do with her life? Like, have they had those type of conversations?
How old she is, how old he is,
yeah.
what they both make.
I mean, I really would have asked.
Well, we know what she makes.
Or nothing. But I would have wanted to know those answers to those questions, because I think it says a lot about that situation.
I do find it more satisfying to do an initial consultation with our clients than I do to watch these, because I can ask whatever I want.
I know.
And I actually have the person there. But and so here's the thing. So would y'all like to see us actually take callers on the show? Because that's something that it's been sneaking up on me, and maybe we need to start doing that and doing some incoming callers like this to see that. It wouldn't be our law firm clients or any of that. It would be a call-in show for the purpose of the show. Anything that people would call in,
whatever's
and pay for
on your
consultation,
mind, whatever
that would be
situation
different.
you're facing, we can try to help.
Yeah. So maybe we should take some callers. So if we get enough comments and y'all request that, if you would like us to take some incoming callers, let us know, because it's going to be difficult and expensive and tedious and a lot of work to get that set up, but maybe it's worth it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
This is the Lawyer Dana Show.